So like 2012, how's it been? How would you describe it in the words of Professor Green, man?
It's been bloody crazy. To be honest, it's just ever since the first single came out for the first album, I Need You Tonight, it just hasn't stopped. You know, through all the promotion of the first album and all the touring, I managed to get a second album together, which, you know, eclipsed anything that I'd done before it. And it hasn't stopped yet, touch wood.
You say managed to get the second album out like it wasn't expected.
That was the thing, it was expected. I kind of put myself in the predicament where I had to get it done in such a short space of time, but I like to carry on working. I don't like to spend any of my time stagnant. So I got it ready in like 6 months. And the second album, you know, you always hear that phrase that's been coined, the difficult second album. But for me, I think I really found my voice with promoting the first album and making it. I think I really found the confidence in my voice, both in how I approached the recording process, but also in getting my ideas across. So I went into the second record with a really clear direction. And I think it was much more cohesive than the first record.
Because someone like myself who's known about your existence from, you know, the earlier days, from like 04, 05 time, when you were signed to the Beats as well.
Yeah.
Like there was a period when a lot of people thought you was going to give up, that they wouldn't see you in the position that you're at now. Like,
I nearly did. If I'm honest, there was plenty of doubts in my mind. You know, when you're sitting at home and it's like, I'm back doing other things, and you're like, this ain't really putting food on my table. Like, what am I doing it for? It's a glorified hobby. You know, I might love doing it, but what's it doing for me? And then I bumped into Lily Allen. We had a little chat on Facebook one day, which entirely turned the whole thing around.
And the rest is history. And you know, like some of your new fans, when they become to understand about your battle days, you know what I mean? They're like, wow, Professor Green really come from that. And
people are still discovering that now. I get so many tweets every day going, no, I never knew you used to do this. You know, people have only heard the singles really. And then they start doing their research, and obviously everything is there on YouTube for them to find. You know, be it me smacking up a battle or me falling off stage, it's all there.
But like in the contrast to that, some of the people that knew you from the earlier days are like, I could never imagine Professor Green changing his sound as much.
Really? But then do you know what? I think if you go back to it, like, if you listen to Upper Clapton Dance, you know, you have Jungle. If you listen to Stereotypical Man, you have I Need You Tonight. There's always been those, you know, those shades to my music. And I think it's important to not be one-dimensional. Like, I can't make Upper Clapton Dance every time I go to the studio. If I did, I would get bored of what I do. You know, I just go in the studio, and however I feel, you know, that's what I work with. If I'm in a good mood, I can't go into the studio and lay some depressing song, or, you know, I want to do something cheeky. And that's a massive part of what I do. That's why I was so good at battling, you know, because of my sense of humor, if you can call it that. And I think it's important that that's conveyed in my music.
Well, you know, in 2006 on Before I Die, you said that you wanted to have a #1. Check. You had that. And then you also said, I want to make friends with Hugh Hefner and go on a long break in the Playboy Mansion.
That hasn't happened yet. I felt fake boobs though, and they were quite a letdown. That was quite disappointing. Not a fan of fake. Yeah, Towie, listen up. Yeah, I'm happy to have not done everything on that list. I'm not ready to go just yet.
You're not ready, but you still want to do some of those things.
There's still a few things I still want to go to the Playboy Mansion. Yeah, I think me and Hugh could form quite the camaraderie. I think we could be good mates.
It could be a good team. So, you know, like, things have changed since 2005, since you came out earlier, and like you was label mates with like Example over there at the Beats, and a lot of people might say that, like, for both of you it was a slow burn.
Yeah, definitely, but that's the best way. I think that's the best way to build consistency. You know, you get a lot of flashes in the pan, don't you? People who spring out of nowhere, they have a hit and then they disappear. You know, me and Example were two of the only artists to have a successful second album coming from the genre and the background that we do. I think what Example did was incredible because he practically reinvented himself. You know, he took a sound that people had kind of touched on, but done it in his own way and very much made his own path. And I think he sounds comfortable now. You know, I think his music has really stepped up, and he's flying the flag, arena tours and all sorts, man. And to see someone who started in the same place I did, you know, who went through all the rubbish that I did with that label situation, you know, I think it's wicked, man. And I think also, you know, people were quick to put Mike down for what happened with the label and whatnot, but looking back on it, I think it just shows what a brilliant A&R he was, on top of everything else that he was good at, because, you know, he signed 3 people, me, Example, and the Mitchell Brothers, and 2 of those 3 artists have gone on to massive things. How many A&Rs have that kind of strike?
You're still in communication with Mr. Mike Skinner?
Yeah, I saw him recently in Ireland. We bucked up in Ireland, and I might do a remix of, because he just signed Man Like Me. He actually has brought the beats back to life, and he signed Man Like Me and Elro, I think. And yeah, I love their new track Squeeze, so I might do a remix of that.
So what's he up to though, man? Is he gonna return as the artist himself?
I don't know. He's always been an incredible producer, and I think he's just kind of taken a bit more of a production role in things now, you know, writing, but being a little bit more behind the scenes. He's got a family now, man. He wants to enjoy that, and he's definitely entitled to.